Black, white, black and white? What are we talking about? Black food versus white food, of course. Time for some fun.
Mainstream media wants to keep the narrative going of black versus white, because that's how a lot of these guys make money. The news media, some of the community organizers, they got to keep black and white people fighting because it's a good story. And when we realize they're sitting at the big table getting rich and we're down here fighting and killing each other over nonsense.
You've said things like black women are biologically different than white women.
Yes, they have different fertility windows. They have a higher rate of fertility complications, 50%
There's
higher
no
rate.
scientific evidence to prove that a black woman and a white woman are genetically different, right? This is like...
What are you talking
No, they are.
about?
According,
Yeah.
No.
Like literally, there are genes that code for their skin color. There are genes that...
Again, this is like government data. This is EMI, right? This is the National Institute of Health. This is the American Medical Association. Like, there is no scientific evidence to prove that.
And that's a big problem, right? Because
there's no scientific
and that's
evidence
why I
about
asked.
things like IQ differences. Black people are genetically different from other populations.
And I'll say that again. There is no scientific evidence to prove that, right? And as people
I'm sorry. I'm stating. Do you want to ask an AI if there's scientific evidence to prove that?
No, I want to.
There's a small number of families that hold a lot of power in this world, with the finances and the corporations and their lineage, and they want to keep that finances and the wealth in their lineage and not to disperse to anybody else. So they form the tactic, and the tactic is to divide and to conquer. And that's why, because they own the media as well. And that's why we see so much contention being broadcasted, to afflict and to bring contention and strife amongst the races, they call it, to keep people fighting so they don't recognize the true enemy at hand. Just picture somebody smacking a beehive instead of the bees recognizing who smacked or attacking the person who smacked the hive. Well, the bees, they started fighting themselves. They started attacking each other. So this is what we see on display.
Let's talk about George Floyd. You said George Floyd's death was a terrible thing.
Terrible.
Why are African Americans still dying at the hands of law enforcement in this country?
And so are white people. So are white people. What a terrible question to ask. So are white people. More white people, by the way. More white people.
America is a country ill at ease with itself. The strangling in Minneapolis of George Floyd by a police officer last week has launched a wave of protests and riots from coast to coast. On Sunday, thousands came out onto the streets of New York demanding an end to racism and police violence against the black community.
The way I've seen it, for the past 400 years stemming from slavery, there has been a genocide of black people in this country. And it's been from slavery to Jim Crow, to black codes, to mass incarceration, to police brutality.
But the killing of George Floyd hasn't just provoked peaceful protests. In New York, rioters torched police cars, and in many cities there was looting as well, with law enforcement in Los Angeles arresting nearly 400 people in a single night.
Hey! Why don't you just leave the woods to us who belong here?
Being here with your family kind of made me wonder if it's a problem.
As long as you're here legally, I don't think where you come from should matter. I don't even see color.
Would you like some more wine?
Oh, that's white, dirty red.
I thought you said you didn't see color.
Sometimes it feels like our country is at war with itself.
Get these people out of my town. I don't care how you do it.
But I think that someday we won't be standing across a great divide.
To the people that are in charge, on top of that pyramid, running the world with all the true power, you gotta understand they view the general public as a bunch of ants and a bunch of cattle that are good for nothing but to be controlled. And what these people fear the most is losing their way of life, losing their luxury and their relaxed lifestyles. So they don't want people to rise up and to recognize that they outnumber them. And there are various measures of control, including, destroying cropland and destroying the yield or taking away the food and the resources like water just to maintain control. To have these people feeding out of your hands.
There was that ant that stood up to me.
Yeah, but we can forget about him.
Yeah, it was just one ant. One ant.
Yeah, you're right. It's just one ant.
Yeah, boss. They're puny.
Puny?
Say, let's pretend this grain is a puny little ant. Did that hurt?
Nope.
Well, how about this one? Are you kidding? Well, how about this?
You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up. Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line.